Just like our body, our mind gets sick too. But do we take care of our mind? Do we dare say this thing to our known persons? In our country, talking or speaking about mental health issues is a blasphemy and a matter of luxury. People say you don't have any problem, it's just about your just mind issues. You will just get rid of this thing after a few days. Like, this kind of problems are not problem at all. I face a lot of problems in my life. Comparing to you, it's nothing. So don't just give a shit about this thing. But is it not serious? Why many young adults are committing suicide in our country? Because they are frustrated. They are not getting the care of their mental health. Do the guardians and instructors fostering about their mental health issues? As a matter of sad that they are not doing anything. In my personal experience, I have seen that the person who is in charge of the student affairs, that particular person rather is pouring cold water on the students' motivation. They are not trying to do a single thing. We are growing up in a generation where the guardian is saying, like, we struggled a lot. He is doing better than you. He is eating the same rice, he is eating the same food, but why is he doing better than you? So when a child gets such a comparison in such a young age, he or she gets victim of inferiority complex. So research suggests that when a person becomes a victim of this kind of things, he encounters a lot of problems in his future. He has less self-confidence. He has identity crisis. He doesn't know about how to deal in social situations. This kind of thing happen, but do the guardians or teachers care in their institutions about the mental care? In our neighboring country, Pakistan has psychologists in their every institutions, even in their prison. Can you imagine that? I talked to one of the psychologists of Pakistan 2 years back, and I surprised to know about this thing. Like, in a country like Pakistan, they are appointing psychologists in every institutions, but in a country like us, we are not fostering about the mental health care of our students. So why is this happening? Shouldn't we take care? So research says, like, if a student has like depression or such kind of mental disorder, it affects a lot in their performance. Spatially, they encounter brain fog, low concentration span. They have less energy of life. So if a student becomes victim of these problems, so what will happen to the future generation of our country? They don't get the care they required. Sometimes they don't share their feelings because people mock. They commit suicide because they don't have anyone to share their feelings. I personally had some problem. I survived, and I'm still surviving because I have a best friend whom I can share anything. But if students can share their feelings or get a solution from the psychologist. As a result, like in the past years, the suicide rate has drastically increased. In our country, 10 million people have depression or like psychological disorders related to social anxieties and other things, but they're not getting the treatment because taking care of mental issues has become quite expensive. In some universities, public universities, students get the care, but it is not up to the mark. So I was saying, like, if the students get victim of these problems every single year, if they don't just can excel in their performance, so what will the nation get from them? Consequently, the nation will produce some lackluster, lethargic people who can speak up, who can speak about their problem, who can't raise their voice, who can just perform in social activities. Do we want such people? Do we want such lethargic people in our country? Do we want some people who will run the country in the same way their mental state is? We don't want. We want energetic, rhythmic, strong people to run our country. So we need to take care of the mental health care. And in our country, like in the madrasas and even in the kindergartens, when I was a child, I had a lot of psychological trauma because the teacher who was appointed to teach me had inflicted mental torture on me, physical torture on me. The torture was so extreme and excruciating. Whenever I saw him, I was appalled. So in my personal opinion, learning should be for fun, learning should be for enjoyment. So in our country, guardians, they impose their unfulfilled desires, dreams to their children, and they want to fulfill their dreams by their children. So doesn't an individual has his own dream? Doesn't he have his unfulfilled dream? Doesn't he want to contribute the country in his own way? But we are destructing. Totally, we are just destroying our generation. We are not caring about the mental issues. Thus, we are at the verge of losing such potential talents who could excel in their own field. We want such people. We don't want a lackluster nation. So in order to become a strong nation, in order to produce prolific artists, we need to take care of the mental health of the students. So for this reason, it is a must for our government to appoint psychologists in every sector. And recently, they have had a decision regarding it, and I hope they will implement this decision as fast as they can. Thank you for watching.